Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Ted Sykes, who is President and Chief Operating Officer of American Queen Steamboat Company. We're aboard the American Duchess in the Lincoln, what is it, the Lincoln Lounge,
Lincoln Library.
right? Lincoln Library. Here we are, right here,
Library.
the Lincoln Library, which is a wonderful venue for this this boat. And we're going to talk a little bit about today about American Queen, the company, and what its brand promises are. And this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Ted, first of all, you sort of have four brand promises for American Queen. For your now, you have now 4 vessel fleet, right?
Well, we have 3 in operation. We're working on building the 4th one right now. Right. And our brand promise, I mean, really what we say, what sets us apart from not only other domestic competition, but even international, is that we really stress that 4 USPs of our brand promise, and those 4 are, number 1, Shorex. We include Shorex. We have the highest rated Shorex.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that when they mentioned it at the briefing the other day.
Yeah, well, this is the market we cater to is really the affluent, well-traveled citizen, whether American or international, and so a big part of the brand promise is to include that enrichment. So we include the shore excursions, and they are really award-winning shore excursions. So that's top. Next to that is fine dining. We have really, I mean, you've been on board, you can attest, we really have 5-star dining. We cater to every diet, gluten-free, vegetarian.
Yeah, there are a lot of little checks on the menu, right?
All things to everybody. I mean, we have really a wide selection, both in the grand dining room and in the alternate dining. We're on board the American Duchess right now, but we carry that through the other vessels. We have a main dining venue and a secondary alternative dining and multiple options. So fine dining is the second one. Then really the third is entertainment. We'll put our entertainment up against anybody, including the luxury cruise lines, and I've sailed on quite a few. And probably the comment I read most often in the customer comments is that people are, quote, blown away by our entertainment. We have really top-notch entertainment. And then lastly, we rally around the flag. I mean, we sell our friendly all-American crew, and they are friendly and they are all-American because we operate a U.S. flag vessel. And because of that, we actually employ 100% Americans. And their camaraderie and the ambiance, our crew is just second to none. Our crew is fabulous, and I hear that comment all the time.
Well, let me delve a little deeply into all those 4 elements that you're talking about. The shore excursions, which are very good, and talk about the difference, because you have 2 different types. You have one that's all included. You do have premium as well, right. But the hop on, hop off, what is that exactly?
So we have coaches that travel along the river with us on each of the vessels. The coaches are pretty distinctive. They're wrapped with, a wrap that identifies them as part of the American Queen Steamboat Company. And that's included in the price of the ticket. And that includes, we're on the lower Mississippi now, so what that means is we have 4 or 5 of those that travel with us, and we include all the admissions to all the museums, and we set up spots around town, and we go around, and it's, as it says, hop on, hop off, and it allows people to explore at their leisure. Then in addition to that, we have premium shore excursions, and an example of a premium would be like the 3 or 4 hour tour of the Vicksburg battlefield.
Yeah, that's one I've taken, and it's an amazing tour, and actually, interestingly enough, it's priced very reasonably.
Oh yeah, we price them all, $79, $100 or something like that. Another one that's very popular that was actually award-winning was the Angola State Penitentiary, where we actually go inside the penitentiary, which is all, it's all of the people that are there with a life sentence, and it's the kind of the road to redemption. They explain their stories, and people come back, our guests come back just blown away by that as well.
So. Well, I think I missed that. We were just in a place where it was, and I didn't go, and I'm sad that I have to come back and do that one, because it sounded fascinating. I wanted to try your hop on, hop off instead.
Yeah, so hop on, hop off is included. The premium are for those who want to delve deeper into a subject or a culture or history or some area that may be of interest to them, but not to the whole crowd.
Yeah, and I know you have something, some very interesting things associated with Elvis and New Orleans and things like that as well, and part of your premium excursions.
Yes, yeah. So, Priscilla Presley is the godmother of the American Queen, so we have a special relationship with Elvis Presley Enterprises, behind the scenes, platinum VIP tours. And that story repeats itself out on the Columbia and the Snake River and on the upper Mississippi as well.
Yeah. Let's talk about dining. We've had you have a lovely main dining room, but you also have alternative venues as well, right?
Right. So the main dining venues are very grand. The menu selection is, I think we carry 5 or 6 entrees for every meal. But then we have alternative dining, which is really intended to be more like the chef's creation, and we don't charge extra for alternative dining. We do ask that people make a reservation because we can't cater the whole vessel there like we can in the grand dining room. But again, the alternative dining have a galley right next door, so the food's prepared fresh by a separate group, and it's very popular. And
then you also have great things. I hate to say it, you have wonderful cookies on board. That's one of one of my failings. Every time I get a little upset, I'm working too hard. I'm thinking I'm going to go reward myself with one of those fresh cookies.
Oh, I hear about it if the soft serve or the fresh cookies aren't there, because that is part of the trademark. In the coffee lounge on this vessel, it's called Perks. We have 24/7 cappuccino, espresso, all the different coffee drinks, soft serve ice cream with all the toppings, freshly baked cookies, pastries in the morning. It's become a trademark of us, yes.
Yeah, and let's turn now to the entertainment. And was impressed to see that you have a sort of troupe here. People act as both your cruise directors and also as the main entertainers on board. They're very good, and they're in fact, it's a husband and wife team on this ship, which is very interesting. And they're very good, and they also are very friendly and all accessible around the whole ship, around the whole boat, right?
Yes, and like you say, a lot of these are Broadway actors who have made a lifestyle to come and live with us. We use them in other roles around the vessel, game shows, that sort of thing, but they're immensely popular. And then we also have step-on entertainment. And then, as I guess this comes under entertainment, we carry a river Lorian on board all of our vessels. So the river Lorian is a person who speaks to the history and the culture of the river, right, and gives background information on the river.
Yeah, no, I've heard him speak several times, both at American Queen and up here in this vessel as well. Very interesting stuff, and part of the whole allure of this cruise is the Mississippi too.
Right. People don't understand it. They just don't have the depth of knowledge, so he imparts that very nicely.
Now let's turn to the crew. You mentioned it. It is a different service. It's a much more familiar service. Obviously, they all speak English, if you don't count the southern part of it. But that's from a New Yorker, so don't worry about that. But they are very familiar, and it's a warm kind of service. It's something that I've experienced now a few times, so I guess I was ready for it. But it is certainly something very different because they are so familiar.
Right, and you can really experience that on the last day of the cruise when you see guests going home and all the hugs and tears in the dining room from their guests from the waiters that have waited on them through the course of the week. We do draw a lot of Americans who really aren't up for the 8 or 10 hour flight to Europe and dealing with foreign language, foreign currency, just the foreignness of all of that. So we're friendly all-American crew. They're like their children or grandchildren. The ambiance is wonderful. And I have to say, we are so pleased to have the crowd that we do working for us on board. They're really spectacular.
Absolutely. Well, Ted, thank you for filling us in on these 4 brand promises that I certainly have seen fulfilled here on American Duchess and before that on American Queen. And someday American Countess coming up next year, right?
Right, more to come. Thank you, James.
Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.